When the Fool appears, there's often a stirring, something new wanting to be born, some adventure calling your name in a voice only you can hear. Perhaps you've been standing at your own cliff's edge, sensing that what you've known is no longer quite enough, that your soul is asking for a larger landscape to explore. The Fool doesn't suggest recklessness. There's deep wisdom in this seeming innocence. This card often appears when you're being invited to trust that beginner's mind, that willingness to not know that creates space for genuine discovery. Maybe you're considering a career change that makes no logical sense, or feeling drawn to love again after disappointment, or sensing a creative project stirring that has no guaranteed outcome. Sometimes the Fool speaks to the courage of starting over, releasing the identity you've worn like comfortable clothes, and stepping naked into new possibility. This can feel terrifying and exhilarating in the same breath, the way all real growth does. There's often something here about timing, too. The Fool suggests that the moment to begin is now, not when you feel fully prepared, not when all conditions align perfectly. The rose in their hand is already beautiful. They don't wait for it to become something else before setting out. Yet the Fool also honors the wisdom of not forcing. This figure steps forward with ease, not strain. They suggest that the right action often feels like play rather than work, like following a curious thread rather than pushing against resistance. When the Fool visits, you might notice opportunities that your practical mind wants to dismiss, invitations that seem to come from nowhere, coincidences that feel too meaningful to ignore, dreams that won't fade with morning coffee. This card whispers that not everything valuable can be measured, that sometimes the best path reveals itself only to those willing to walk it. The Fool reminds us that wisdom isn't always about knowing where we're going. Sometimes it's about trusting that the journey itself will teach us what we need to learn, that the cliff's edge isn't an ending but a doorway, and that the first step into any new chapter requires a kind of faith that can't be learned from books. You might find yourself both excited and terrified, both ready and completely unprepared. The Fool says this is exactly right, that the sweet tension between security and adventure is where all magic lives. This card interpretation comes from my new book, where I explore all 78 cards as mirrors for the human experience. If you'd like to continue this conversation with the complete deck, you'll find it linked in the description.